Just stop being poor. Stop it. Hello. Hi. I'm Sam, and I'm going to talk about the law of attraction. So let's get started. If you're here, you probably already have some kind of feelings. You probably feel some kind of way already about the law of attraction, either very positive or very negative. I am sitting somewhere in between, leaning a little bit negative, but I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, okay? Just to get started, the book The Secret was written by Rhonda Byrne in 2006 and really took off when it was shown in Oprah Winfrey. And we all know what happens when you show up in Oprah Winfrey. Oh yes, it is any author's dream. Any author's dream. So we're going to talk about what is in The Secret. And The Secret is largely where this took off, right? And it is about the law of attraction, something that I've seen come up a bit as of recently in popular culture, in influencers. And I want to talk about that because someone's going to be angry at me. Oh God. Who do we really see be the influencers really into the law of attraction? I'm just gonna say it, and someone's gonna be angry at me. Young white girls from wealthy families. And look, I'm not gonna fault them. And I'll get into why. I think there's a reason, and I'm gonna get to that when the time comes. So, the law of attraction. I got some points from that book. I got some points to make. So, look, starting off, I know that just because someone is very wrong about one thing does not therefore mean they are wrong about everything or a lot of other things. I just want to mention, because I have a bone to pick, that Ms. Byrne is a proponent against the germ theory. Ooh, that's a hot take during Corona time. Oh God. So, here's a quote. "You cannot catch anything unless you think you can, and thinking you can is inviting it to you with your thought. You are also inviting illness if you are listening to people talk about their illnesses." Just act like you can't get coronavirus. Just go out and act like it's not a thing. If you send out those vibrations, right, that you can't get ill, you won't. As a matter of fact, stop having cancer. Stop sending out the vibrations of cancer, and then you won't attract cancer. What? Oh, I can't. But okay, just to get an idea of the beliefs here. Very anti-scientific beliefs. Okay, now, apparently, right, as is the case with a lot of these new agey types of things. I was about to say religions, new agey religions. We're getting there, but whatever, okay? So, we're all made out of energy, right? Our thoughts we're all energy. Energy is an interesting word usually used by these new age movements. Energy is kind of a throwaway word. Talk to any physics instructor, any physics professor, find a local physics professor, and ask them about this. It's a throwaway word. What kind of energy? Kinetic, potential, heat? What are we talking about? What's going on? I don't know. This whole idea that like attracts like, actually it's this whole idea that like attracts like, right? So we'll just get right to it. If you want to, for example, and usually this is around wealth, which is interesting. Usually the law of attraction is centered around, well, one of two things, wealth or health. Great. When it comes to, let's say, wealth, put out that energy. of being wealthy, right? Visualize it, act like you're already wealthy, which is very, very interesting to me. And let me tell you why. It's akin to tithing in the church, right? Because you're told, and this is where I'm going to bring up an influencer, Elise Parker. She has had quite the hot take saying, justifying the cost of her like counseling guidance type of course. It's $790 something. Insane. But she has justified this saying, well, if you only invest this much, you have, this kind of investment, right? Personal investment in that. But if you pay something like $1,000, you're way more invested in that. So it feels a lot like, I'm so sorry I burped. All right. So it feels a lot like tithing, right? It doesn't matter how you're doing right now. The only way for you to bring more wealth, more good into your life is to give that money. It's how it feels. I'm sorry. It feels really scammy and scummy. I'm just gonna say it. And also just irresponsible. I feel like if someone is desperate, and they have been convinced by this, that if they want to get the money that they need, they have to spend like they're already wealthy, and this person maybe already might not make it this month, that's an irresponsible thing to suggest. Just gonna say it. Let's just give a quote. Quote, "The only reason any person does not have enough money is because they are blocking money from coming to them with their thoughts. Every negative thought, feeling, or emotion is blocking your good from coming to you, and that includes money. It is not that the money is being kept from you by the universe, because all the money you require exists right now in the invisible." All right. Just stop being poor. Stop it. And here's where I bring up the whole demographic that I mentioned earlier about the young white, very pretty girls who already come from well-off situations. Their family usually has some money. And look, the reason I have a hard time completely faulting them, even though they can be scammy sometimes, is that if I was young, pretty, and wealthy, okay, I'm young, but I'm not pretty and wealthy. If I was young, white, pretty, wealthy, and things came to me fairly easily, in the sense that I never truly faced poverty, and I'm going to make a whole video on Elise Parker and her past and her claims, but if things came quite so easily to me, I would feel like there was some kind of magic energy out there just, bringing things to me, as long as I had the right attitude about it. When things come fairly easily to you, I don't think it's that you're just putting out the right vibrations. I think you have access to opportunities and resources, and B, it's probably coupled with a good attitude from you and work. But I mean work, not just putting out the right energy. You know what I mean? It makes logical sense that if you've set goals and you put in the work, it's a natural result, not this weird pseudoscientific energy bullshit that we're trying to be convinced of. And this is where I get into where I appreciate some of the ideas in the law of attraction. I think there is great value in visualizing what your goals are. It reminds me of a quote, if wood does not know if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. That makes sense. In order for you to move forward, right, you have to have a goal. You have to know what it is you're moving towards, right? So there's great power in having sit down and set those goals. 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 I would love gold. Goals. But one thing that the law of attraction doesn't actually talk about or put any emphasis on is the actual action involved in that. There's a focus in just put out the right energy, the right thoughts, visualize and act like you're already wealthy. Act like you can't get sick, right? Put yourself like you're already there, and you will be there. It will come to you because like attracts like. That's bullshit. You have to actually put in some effort, and I think these girls usually who are popular, right, achieve things because they do put in action. They coupled with access, access and resources, but they put in action, which is not something the law of attraction really touches on. But I think there's great use in setting goals and having a good attitude. The difference in outcomes between someone who has a defeatist attitude, someone who has a good attitude, coupled with action, this person is more likely to put in more action than someone with a defeatist attitude. The outcomes just makes sense. You don't need to have weird pseudoscientific ideas on energy. And you also don't need to pay $790 something to know that. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you stuck around this long, let me know what you think. And here's the thing. If you are for the law of attraction and you really think this is wrong, tell me why. Tell me why, and be very specific. I feel like the comments, for the law of attraction that I've seen in places criticizing tend to be very dismissive and say, you just don't understand, and I don't want to even spend the time to tell you why you don't understand. It's very, and it's been, I feel like responses tend to be a little wishy-washy. So if you don't agree, tell me why. If you agree with me, tell me why. If there's a point that I missed for one way or the other, please tell me. Yeah, so this was just kind of an off-the-cuff thing that I did right here. I'm just trying to talk. I just have some time on my hands, and I'm just gonna let you go. Have a good one. My name is Sammy Sad, and I say that because I have a resting sad face. Have a good one. Bye. It's past my bedtime.